This is a tale from not so long ago, when Quibbles and Bits was just a budding idea. Unbeknownst to our small realm, there were tales of a fierce wolf that was terrorizing a nearby countryside. Like hunters of the past would take down a tiger attacking villagers, he was snatched up and taken for a last ride. Trapped in a dark dungeon filled with barking dogs and busy people, he awaited his fate. But the queen of this strange castle had a better idea. She knew inside this wolf was a dog waiting to emerge, looking for a companion that understood him and could change his view of the world. The queen set a most special task to her attendant, Elizabeth, to find him a place that he could call home. This was no small feat, not with a night and day stalker past, but she knew just who to call. You see, Elizabeth knew of another dog who also had been afraid of the world, Luna. Luna had struggled with people and strange places, but her guardian had helped her blossom into a confident, happy dog. Luna's mom was just the person to help the wolf transform into his true self. When she contacted her, she agreed to be the next part into his story, to take care of him, at least for a little while, until the right home could be found. And that would mean that he was no longer near his last breath. But you see, when Elizabeth brought him out from the dungeon and introduced Speck to her, he was still scared, full of bravado and bark. But Luna's mom looked at him and knew in that moment that he was perfect. He was no wolf, but a dog that needed a human to understand him. And in that very moment, Speck became Stark. When Stark was born, Luna's mom became his. So, of course, I brought him home, and temporary became forever. Stark joined our pack with sisters Luna and Ella and a big brother Charlie that accepted him, even when he still had big feelings. And sometimes he still had really big feelings. But Luna was by far his favorite, and together they became my twins, my peelers. He loved playing with his cow every day, and we thought of it as his daily exercise, one of the things that he had to do just to be happy, because a boring walk was not enough for our little wolf. He loved learning new things and challenging his mind. Tricks and sports were fun for him, and he excelled at obedience commands. The problem was the wolf was still deep inside, restless, and often emerged in busy places around new people and other dogs. At times, the urge to snarl and even bite was so strong that I would cry. I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to save him, and that at some point, for the safety of everybody else, I would have to let him go. But I wasn't ready to give up, and our bond was strong. Luna reminded me that I'd done this before, not this difficult of a task, but I had made it with her. But the problem was, none of what I had done with Luna was working, and obedience only seemed to make things worse. Obedience was all I knew. So I went on my walkabout, a journey that I started alone and afraid. Everyone that I knew could not help me. I wasn't sure where to start and where to end. Some of the things I found worked, and some not so well, but the more that I let go of what I had known, the more I had released of the past and the things that everybody told me I had to do instead of knowing what I knew I needed to do, the wolf faded. Stark and I learned to communicate through what we now call conversations. He began to understand tasks through the games of choice. And most importantly, I discovered it was relaxation and calm that banished the stress, and with it, the wolf. You see, stress was the actual problem. He was so stressed throughout the day and carried so much with him that it was impossible for him to think. The stress was his wolf. We emerged, and it was as a team with a trust and bond just as strong as the one that I had with Luna. And in some ways, even more so because Stark trusts me with everything that I do with him. And I know that. And so I always have to protect that trust. Because without that trust, he becomes afraid again. I took all those skills and blended them just right, a little from here, a little from there. And from that day forward, Confident Canine was born. And we began to help other dogs, especially the herding dogs. Today, Stark is still my best friend, and I shouldn't say best friend because I have all of my dogs and I love them all uniquely, but Stark is still my companion by my side. He still helps us grow and change things. He's our mascot at Q&B, especially when it comes to Confident Canine. But today, he's the dog that I trust the most. He's the most predictable, and he is the one that would do anything that I asked of him.